Hey everyone, this is Clayton, and today as I was coming out to the studio, I found this rock, and it had two flat sides and sort of flattish other sides, and I'm like, we gotta cut that. I find a stone and take it home and polish it and hope it shines, and also there's a chicken. Hey everyone, this is Clayton again. And like I said, I was walking out to the studio today. I looked at, what the deal is I bought a big bag of landscaping rocks from a local landscape place, and I sorted through it and sorted through it, and I cleaned them off really well and have them sitting out there so I could see them when I walk past. And this one caught my eye today. I think it was these. You can see there's some. Well, apart from the side that it had two flat sides, but there's also sparkly things all through this side here. Actually through this side and some on this side. And those were shining in the sun. So I'm like, yeah, we got to cut that. And the fact that it has two flat sides, really sort of helps things out. Well, flat sides here and here. So let's take a look at this when it's wet. You can see there's some partially translucent, and there's not a whole lot to see on there other than, it being glossy, but I noticed that those sparklies caught my eye. Plus I'm thinking there may be something inside this that I can't see, because there's translucent areas and more transparent areas. So that means there could be all kinds of who knows what in there. So I think what I'm going to do is take this over onto the wheel, and this side here is more flat, and these sides sort of come up. So I'm going to use this as the bottom. And let's get the pointy stick of destiny out. Like there's a shiny thing. I think this side we're going to flatten out the rest of the way to make the bottom. And then I'm going to keep this triangular shape, because it may end up being a sort of a triangle-y, angle freeform. I don't know what it's going to turn out like. So how about if I just take it over in the wheel and I'm going to cut it. And this time I'm going to try to film cutting it on the wheel a little bit. So join me over at the wheel. Okay, so, whoops, I got stuff on the floor. Here we are over at the wheel. I got everything pretty much set up. And let's get the water started. And I hope that it's not too loud. If it is, I can change a microphone. So, here we are. I'm going to start now. First thing I'm going to do is flatten that back out. I think that's the back. Yep, that's the back. Like I said, I hope it's not too loud. I'll have to talk towards the camera. I'd like to maybe get the camera a little closer, but I'm afraid it'll fall in the water. That would not be a good thing. So here's what we got. And it looks like the sparklies are still in there, which is kind of making me happy. Yeah, this side's still kind of wet. Or else the back of my hand is wet. Yeah, there's a lot of spark. Ooh, do got to get that back down a little bit more. But I hope you can see it. But there are sparklies all through that. Now whether those come out in the polish or not, I don't know. Don't look like we have a whole lot of stuff going on inside there. I was hoping we would. But hey, you know what? We're going to put this on a stick, and we're going to see what we got. So, dum-da-dee, dum-da-da, dum-da-dee. Seems like the wax is starting to hold better, or else I'm getting more accustomed to using it. I'd say it's just I'm getting more accustomed to using it. And, this wax smells like a really old Christmas decorations from the 70s, where they would have things like adhered together with wax. I swear that this is the same type of wax they used for that. Because the very first time I ever used this wax, I'm like, why does this remind me of Christmas? And then the more I worked with it, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, that smells like the old Christmas decorations. Especially like ones that had lights in them. And then they had this green, icky, goo-raw stuff in there to hold the fake Christmas limbs and stuff on there, and then it would get hot, and then you get this sort of freaky smell out of it that, you know, it was probably some kind of carcinogenic that would ended up killing us or making our DNA mutate into some kind of God knows what. Back in the late 60s and 70s, those, you didn't know what they put in those things. Good Lord. Ow. Thumbs are I'm losing my thumbs, people. So I'm going to take this back over onto the other wheel. No, not the other wheel. Back over to the only wheel. And see if I can work down a nice shape to it. Before we do that, though, let's take a look. Looks like we have a loose section right here. It's either an airplane buzzing me or the neighbor's mowing still. I think the neighbor's mowing. But there's like a loose section right there. I'll probably have to get that cut down. Looks like there's a tiny crack running across there. But those sparklies in there, that might save this thing from being just a mediocre piece. If you look at it from the edge, you've got sort of a yellowish clear, and then this opaque, not so clear stuff. So I'm going to take this over onto the wheel, and we'll cut this. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Here's what we have. There's a lot more going in there. There's a lot more going on in there than I thought there was, or I hoped there would be more, but hey, this is looking pretty good. See, we got some yellows and whites, and everything's like swooping over that way. And as it looks now, it sort of reminds me of comets going through the sky. A yellow sky with comets. So anyway, next thing is 500 grit. I'm going to start to put a polish on this. So don't go away. I'll be right back. Boom. Told you I'd be right back. So we are going to do the 500 grit on this thing. And I'm going to shut off the camera for now. And I'll be back when we have her polished up. Don't go away. Alrighty, let's take a look at what we got going on so far. Well, we got polishing going on. Seems to be a little bit of undercutting, but not a whole lot. We got that crack that I talked about earlier right there. But that's a nice solid crack, not even something the BFH could take care of.
Oh my God.
I know. But other than that, it's coming along pretty nicely. That yellow is starting to come out a little bit brighter. You can still see some of the sparklies in there. And hopefully that'll all come out better when it's done. I think we got her. How long is that neighbor gonna mow? I think we got her ready for the second stage. So you know what that means. 1000 grit, clean this up, then the 1000 grit. That's how it goes. Yep. Be right back. 1000 grit is here. Spritzy Spritz is here. And here we go. Here. Now here we go. Here. Alright, there's what we got so far. That's parts of that are getting a really, that yellow part is getting a super shine to it. The other parts are sort of getting a dullish shine. Hey, we'll polish it one way or the other. because that's what we do here. Now let's take a gander. A gander? Okay, so we are gandering at this now. And that's looking pretty good. I mean, there's some undercuts. But otherwise, hey, we're ready for the cerium oxide. And maybe that'll bring out all the sparklies and shinies and all that gobbledygook that we saw before. Oh, I think I need more coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and, well, you take a look. We've got some, well, you can almost see the sparklies in there. They're in there yet. You can just about see them. Got a lot of undercutting on this stone. I'm going to have to work on a different cerium oxide wheel, I believe. Because the softer wheel, I think, is getting into and making more undercuts than it should. I'm going to try a leather pad wheel and see how that works. But overall, this thing's looking pretty good. So let me get this off the stick. Ha! Had a phone call there. No one ever calls me. Except when I'm trying to film. Oh, hey, look at that. That was awesome. Awesome. Okay, here's what we got. That's not too bad. If I could stay in the center of the screen, it would be even better. So, yeah, that's not bad at all. Let's get a quick look under the big camera here. And here we go. So there's what we got on the big camera. Whew. Thing's got some really pretty stuff going on. Whoops, wrong way. So I'm sort of at a loss for words of what to say other than this thing is shiny. There's a little bit of sparkly in there. Got some nice structure. And, well, it's a shiny. So I can definitely say that this stone is a win. So if you like the video, hit that button down there, give us a like, subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos similar to this, and, well, who knows what I'll come back with. So thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.